Hello student, this is Rimpa Shinghara and welcome back to your lesson. This is the part 2 of my lesson, and in lesson 1 we have learned about null and universal relation. If you haven't seen that video yet, then please go and check out the link in the description box. In this lesson we are going to learn about equivalence relation. So without any further ado, let's start today's lesson. A relation will be called an equivalence relation if it satisfies these three conditions. 1 is reflexive, 2 is symmetric, and 3 is transitive. So first we are going to learn about reflexive relation. Let S be a non-empty set and rho be a relation on S. Then rho is said to be reflexive if AA, that means the identical element of S cross S, belongs to rho for all A belongs to S. That means if S contains 5 elements, all the 5 identical elements must belong to rho to be reflexive. Okay, so let's take some examples and try to understand reflexive relation more clearly. So this is the old example of lesson 1. Let me briefly tell you about the set. He is John, his father, mother and brother, and F cross F is the Cartesian product. As per now, for reflexive relation, as per the definition, F contains 4 elements. Okay, so all the 4 identical elements, that means F comma F, M comma M, J comma J and B comma B, these 4 elements must belong to the relation to be reflexive relation. Okay, so let's go to the examples. So now for row 1, it doesn't contain any of the identical element, so it is not reflexive. Now for row 2, it contains 3 identical elements but not contain J comma J, so it is also not reflexive relation. Now for row 3, it contains all the required identical elements, so it is reflexive. And now for row 4, it contains all the identical elements but it contains one extra element. Now the question arises, does this extra element bother the reflexivity of that relation? So the answer is no. That means it may contain more elements than the required elements, but it must contain all the identical elements of its domain set. So it is also reflexive. Now let's go to symmetric relation. So now for symmetric relation, rho is said to be symmetric if for any two elements A and B, A comma B belongs to rho, then BA belongs to rho. So there is a basic difference between reflexive and symmetric relation. In reflexive relation, all the identical elements must belong to the relation to be reflexive. But for symmetric relation, if it contains AB, that means it may contain, it may not contain, yes or no. Okay, if yes, then there is two possibilities, there is two conditions actually. If it contains AB and it contains BA, yes, BA, then it will be symmetric. But it doesn't contain BA, then it will be not symmetric. But if it doesn't contain any point like AB, then it will be symmetric. Okay, let's go to the example and make it clear. Now for row 1, it contains FJ but not JF. It contains MB but not BM. It contains JB but not BJ. It contains FB but not BF. So it is not symmetric. Now for row 2, there are 3 identical elements and there is no problem to the symmetricity of identical elements. But if you look at JM, it also contains MG. So row 2 is symmetric. Now for row 3, all the elements are identical, so it is also symmetric. Now for row 4, there is no problem with the identical elements, but it contains MF but not FM. So it is not symmetric. Okay, so now let's go to transitive relation. So rho is said to be transitive if for any three elements A, B, C, AB and BC, I mean A comma B and B comma C belongs to rho, then AC belongs to rho. So it is actually similar to symmetric relation. It may contain, it may not contain. If it contain, then we will check that whether it contains AC or not. But if it doesn't contain, then it will be transitive. Okay, so let's go to some more explanation. Suppose this man is married to the lady, okay, and she is mother of this boy. Then it's obvious that he is father of this boy. Okay, that means they are related to each other. Okay, but if I say that this man is married to this lady, okay, and this lady is mother of that boy, that means we need not to find the relation between this boy and this man and this boy. Okay, so this is A and B and this is BC. Okay, then A and C will also be connected. Okay, so here are 4 examples. For row 1, it contains FJ and JB. So it's like AB and BC, and it also contains FB. So it is transitive. But if you talk about MB, then there is no element that starts with B. So we need not to be worried about MB. Okay, so it fulfills the transitive relation for these 3 elements. So it is transitive. Now for row 2, it contains JM and MG but not JJ. So it is also not transitive. Now for row 3, there is no problem with the transitivity of identical element. So it is also transitive. Now for row 4, it contains MM and MF. And the AC product will also be MF. So it will also be transitive. Okay. So we have already learned about reflexive, symmetric and transitive relation. And we also seen that row 1 is transitive, row 2 is symmetric, row 3 is reflexive, symmetric, transitive, and row 4 is reflexive and transitive. So here row 3 is the only relation which satisfies all the 3 conditions of equivalence relation. So row 3 is an equivalence relation. But row 1, row 2 and row 4 are not equivalent because they don't satisfy all the 3 conditions. So I hope it's clear to all of you, and that's it for the lesson, guys. If you have any doubt or queries about the lesson, then please let me know in the comment section. I will try my level best to help you. Thank you so much, guys. Till then, keep learning, keep growing.